What's up, babe? Yo, what's up, dude? Let's see. I'm gonna post this somewhere. Yo. All right, let's see. Bye, babe. What up, what up, what up? David in the house, Crystal in the house, Christopher in the house. What's up, what's up? Let me see. I'm just going to post this real quick to Instagram. See if we can get more people in here. Let's see. I don't have any fucking pictures. I don't have any pictures to post. All right. Crunchy in the house. Mark in the house. What's up? What's up? Okay. All right, cool. What's going on? Let's see. I can refer to my check-in form. I think I had some questions in there this week. We can pop into those. Let's see. Oof, sorry about that. All right, let's see. Let's see what order these go in. What the fuck? Nope. Let me think. Okay. I think I've answered some of these. I'll dive into those in a second. Amy, what's up? Amy's at the Texas Pro. Kyle in the house. I'll catch the replay on my flight home. Fucking God. I don't know how the fuck you guys listen to me for however long these go. Like, sometimes they're like 2-3 hours. I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, I was gonna quit using nicotine today, and it's going good. It's going good. Told you we love you, man. These are great. Fuck, you guys are dumb. You're all dumb. All right, let's see. That might be true. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Someone said Mike O'Hearn, natty or not? Not. Yeah, if I don't care, but he's not. I know a guy and fucking man, I hate how the industry works because it's like people like think pretend like they know secrets and like they could totally just fucking be making it up. So like you just have to sometimes blindly trust people. And someone told me that Mike O'Hearn just uses like a ton of Anadrol and that's his like thing. Um and that's been his thing for years, I guess. Again, I don't know how true that is, but I'll spread rumors too. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Um, Whatever. Fuck that guy. All right, let's see. I think I've answered this. Favorite ways to make rear and side delt grow. Just inject them with oil. Next is I'm kidding. Kidding. Kind of. I do a lot of rear delt shots. That's my favorite injection site. Favorite ways to make rear and side delts grow. Like super like giant sets. Like 3 movements string together. And different forms of like pressure, if that makes sense. So um I'll go from like a cable movement to a banded movement to a heavy partial dumbbell movement, for example. Um, I think I have some of those on my YouTube somewhere. Um, but yeah, and then I think personally I like to hit them both 2 to 3 times a week. Um, I think the I think the delts and rear delts um, recover pretty quickly, and frequency is not really an issue for them. I generally like higher reps, higher volume for delts. I think it just like it sounds stupid, but it's just like a muscle when I think about it. Like just like volumizing it just works really well. And you can be like, oh, well, every muscle works like that. True to a point. But like this little delt, I just feel like blowing it up like a little fucking balloon. I don't know. I don't think of like glutes like that, for example. Calves, I do. Arms, I do. Just think about like really fucking volumizing them. Quads, I think about that. But like chest, I don't think about that. And maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But yeah, I think delts just like tons of fire, reps, burn, and tons of blood. Let's see. Okay. Um, MRDR pouches, they're pre-workout pump pouches. Excited to try them. Fuck, bro. Like, imagine there's this really good product and it's called nicotine. And then you make these fucking pouches where you remove the shit that's really good about the said product. And now you have something gay. Sorry. Sorry. That would be like doing a shot of MCT oil with no test in it. Fuck. Crystal says I have trouble with rear delt mind muscle connection. Any cues for that? Kyle says raising the reps alone will help you connect. I agree with Kyle on that. And I also think I'd have to watch you do them. I'd have to watch you do them. I think we trained delts together. We did a push day together. Maybe we'll try to train at the Olympia again. Yeah, let's try to do that and we can work on those. But like um the rear delts are weird because a lot of people just want to use rhomboids. They really focus on like scapular retraction, and that's really not what the rear delt even needs. When the scapula is moving, those are generally the rhomboids and traps taking over. Um, One really good movement is if you take a resistance band, like a full circle one, if that makes sense, not the one with the stupid handles on it, but a full circle resistance band, and you choke it around a chin up bar, and then you actively have to do a slight straight arm pull down, and then do a full band pull apart. That way, since you have to do, hopefully you can hear me when I'm this far away. Since you have to do a straight arm pull down, it engages and shortens the lats, lengthens the trap, so it pulls the traps out of it, and you can really, really isolate the rear delt in that way. The other movement I really like is the team skip flies. Those are on my YouTube, but the hand is actually supinated. And I think you can hit the rear delt really well by actually supinating the hand for some people. Um, the other thing is where you're putting pressure. So, like, if you're squeezing your index and middle finger, like, let's say you're doing a rear delt machine fly and you're squeezing these, your index and your middle, you will feel your rear delt more if you squeeze your pinky and ring finger, if you focus on those more, and then kind of have the pressure on the palm, the outsides of your hands, really heavy, and think about dragging through mud. Drag through mud. And I'm actually kind of thinking about keeping the scapulas separated and the shoulders almost protracted forward a bit, and I'm dragging, drag, drag, and it's not always explosive. Um, but one of the other really good techniques for shoulders in general is using a weight that's almost a little too heavy and just kind of like fucking you find the rear delt, you sit on it, and then you just kind of swing and pump on it. This looks really silly. But you find that delt, you stay on it, and you just do heavy fucking partials. And that the reason those heavy partials work so well, it forces that pressure on the hand, whether you like it or not. So that hand or that machine sits really heavy against the outside meat of the hand, and you can drag on that shit and just fucking, you know what I mean? Um, the other cue that works quite well for, man, really a lot of exercises is thinking about opposing the movement directionally. Okay. So if you're trying to hit the rear delt, I'm trying to push myself into that chest pad, right? Boom, boom. I'm trying to oppose the direction of pull. You know what I mean? Um, for instance, like a lat pull down. If I'm pulling down, I'm trying to pull myself up to the bar. I'm trying to oppose movements at all times. Something like training chest. Um, Actively, you're pushing the bar away. I'm pushing myself away as well. Um, Man, you can really use that for almost any movement. When I'm doing side delts, I'm trying to um, drag my fist against the ground. You guys have all heard those. I'm trying to extend the arm out towards the walls on the opposite sides of me. And the other thing I'm doing is kind of slightly squatting down, and I'm thinking about pushing myself into the ground, right? While maintaining a high sternum. But um, opposing the movement that you're doing is actually like, um, I don't know, a hidden little gem that, like, if you can, like, if that makes sense in your head, um, it can be really beneficial. Uh, Hopefully that makes sense. I so fucking wish, like, and I'm not saying like I have it all figured out because I certainly don't. I certainly don't. That's the glory of training is you can just always get better and learn new things. Um, but I wish I could just like bring people into my fucking head because like so they can like see the shit that goes on in my fucking brain. Only when I'm training. You don't want to know the shit that goes on at the other times, but when I'm training, um, just the types of things I think of, and I wish I could verbalize better. I think it would help so many people, and that's my next goal with YouTube is to try to figure out my hat or my head is crooked. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to figure out ways to better verbalize and articulate like what goes on in my brain while I'm doing these things. We don't want to know the stuff in your mind outside of training. Oh, fuck God, no. Anyways, yeah, that's my goal. I'm really brainstorming with my video editor, and we're trying to come up with a whole new concept. The talking head shit is not my shit. It's not my shit. I told Chris, my editor, I told him, I'm like, man, this is just not my shit. I need something uh I need my own niche that I enjoy. And I really think training is gonna be that for me. Um, man, I would love to be I'm not even gonna I would never fucking say his name and my name in the same sentence, so I'm not gonna say it. But I would love to be a resource for other coaches' clients. Does that make sense? Hey, Mr. Coach, you have me doing whatever. Fucking, I don't know, tricep pushdowns. Do you have a good example of that? And I would love to be get to the point where they're like, hey, look at Tommy doing these. That would be really cool. And that's kind of my goal right now is to set a standard, I guess, and like really learn how to explain what's going on in my head um, while I'm training because I do have a good sense of how to hit the muscle that I'm targeting. Um, and if I can find a way to articulate it and share it with others, I think it could be a good niche for me. Um, Kyle says nicotine is bae. I just ordered some Lucy breakers and never had. Yeah, I was supposed to quit nicotine today, and it's going really good. Kyle says I honestly feel like just heavy ass rear delt swing. Yeah, see, Kyle knows the rear delt swings. Easy way to get a pump going, and then the connection is much easier to make in the following. Yeah, get them turned on right away and firing. David says they are firing when he touches them during the set, but I just can't feel them, if that makes sense. It does make sense. It does make sense. And we can, like I said, we'll train together at the Olympia and we'll make sure that we train shoulders. And I will get you to feel your rear delts. Heavier partials really help my side delts. Yep. Totally agree. I can see them working for rear delts. Absolutely. I take Mark says I take heavier dumbbells like the 50s and do rear delt swings. The heavy weights keeps you from coming up. Yeah, no, exactly, Mark. Yeah, the heavy weight kind of forces those scapulas open, whether you like it or not. And yeah, you're exactly right. Some movements, the weight needs to be heavy or heavier, whatever heavy means, it's relative. But you need a proper amount of weight for certain movements to actually make the movement functional. Functional to whatever. Fuck off. Mark says, have people send in sets and critique them. Yeah, I could. Oh, Dad Shrink Daily. Any thoughts on Lily suing 6 Retta resellers and reporting 200 plus to the FDA? Do I have thoughts on it? I love you, Dad Strength. Of course I have thoughts on it, bro. Of course I have thoughts on it. I have thoughts on a lot of shit. Um, yeah, I have thoughts about it. I do. Um, my thoughts are, is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like we can't be surprised about that. Um, what? I don't know what this little asshole's saying. Not you, Dad Strength. My son. He's the asshole. You're fine. What's up, dude? Oh, thank you. Yeah, Dad Strength. Of course I have thoughts about it, bro. Bye, baby. One thing is it was bound to happen. Um, two things is some of these resellers are ass and they're doing things recklessly. They're literally putting they're literally just like flat out saying, we have Retta True Tide on our fucking website. Here's the link. Please come buy it. Please come buy it now. Public service announcement. We have Retta True Tide for sale. Please come purchase it right now. Thank you. That's what they were doing, bro. They were it was an open gated website. You know, they were not behind any sort of registration wall or anything that was protecting them. So that's my thoughts on the resellers that did get sued or are in the process of getting sued. Some of them I know for fact were reckless and it was bound to happen. As far as my thoughts on Lily, I mean, bro. What? I mean, that's their baby, bro. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good day. That's their baby, dude. That's their cash crop. I mean, of course. Oh, bye, baby. Oh, okay, love you. Of course, they don't want other people making money on their baby. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, dude. I have thoughts on it. And my thoughts are I don't blame a company like Lilly, billions and billions and billions of fucking dollars. I don't blame a company like them. How can you? You know? It's just it's bound to happen. But there are still resellers doing it right. And you know, they're doing the best that they can. And they're doing it in a safer manner and they're testing their products and everything like that. But yeah, dude, Lily has to protect their baby, and you know it's gonna happen. That's just the industry we live in. um, yeah. Keith in the house. What's up, Keith? Crystal said sick. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll get training in for sure. Thanks, babe. Can't wait for the Olympia. Yeah, Alex G will be there. Super excited to meet him. I got a lot of clients that's gonna be there. This kid's fucking annoying as shit. Not you, Alex, my son, my ugly ass son. DLC says Lily is gay. True. Alex G says you mess with someone's money, you can't blame them for doing what they're doing. Is he wrong? No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You know? Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like I said, a lot of resellers are doing a great job. Um, they're doing it safely. They're doing it with They're doing it with the means of helping others, and some people cannot access these medications, and our medical system, I don't know how much I want to say on YouTube. It's not like I'm a big name or anything, but I'd rather not be flagged in any way, shape, or form. But man, my buddy, my good friend, went to a fertility clinic, and obviously this is separate types of products, but he went to a fertility clinic like last week, and he got prescribed HCG because he's in the process of regaining fertility to make a baby. And he went to pick up his HCG, and without insurance, he has insurance, but he saw the price without insurance for a kit of HCG, 30,000 fucking dollars. Guys, fuck me. $30,000 for a kit of HCG. And the kit was like, I don't know, fucking 10,000 IUs or something. You know, like a week's worth. Maybe 2 weeks, depending on how much you run a week. When I ran HCG for my fertility protocol, it was 2,000 every other day. So 10,000 IUs, $30,000 if you don't have insurance. But we don't need to get into that. You guys know the system can be silly. Kyle says, probably just going to keep sniping a few companies here and there to scare the others, since it's always going to be there. Yeah, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. You guys have to remember, testosterone, we still find ways to get that. Just saying. I get mine legally from my doctor, of course. From my doctor, of course. He gives me my Tren and Winstrol too. And my Serostim. And my Equipoise, my horse doctor. But yeah, so we still find those things. Just saying. Just saying. So that's my thoughts on that, Dad Strength. You love this shit, bro. You post an article like every fucking day about these assholes. Swear to God, dude. You love these motherfuckers. You are just like in it. You probably work for Lily. You fucking guy. I'm gonna find your LinkedIn when this live stream's over. I know you work for Lily. Fucking, he's a narc. He's a narc. Okay. That's fun. Okay, let's see. The guys that sent me questions on Instagram, those I'm gonna save those for I'm gonna save those for the podcast with Andrew and Joe. I don't work for Lily. Boy, that's what all fucking narcs say, dude. I'm not a cop. You Brian O'Connor, dude? Are you Brian O'Connor? Hopefully that doesn't go over your head, but it might. More in-depth information on peptides and ideas for ab workouts. Okay. I liked your 10 lies about training. Do a 20 lies about nutrition. Oh, That'll get me in trouble. I get a lot of questions about training splits. Are barbell rows good for your back? Yeah, for a lot of people. For a lot of people, for sure. Sorry, that's my alarm to take drugs. The pharmacodynamics is what interests me the most, unfortunately. Jesus fuck. Fucking jeez Owees. DLC says a dude could do 100 lies about nutrition. Oh god. It will just get me in trouble though. They'll just get me in trouble, so I'm not going to. I have like 8 that just came to mind. Form intensity critiques when people send in their working sets. Yeah, that's something I could maybe do. Gaining mass as TRT plus versus natty. Yeah, TRT plus is better for gaining mass than being natty. Natty is absolutely the way to never gain any muscle. Unless you have 45 years to put on 8 pounds of muscle, then stay natural. I don't have that time. Hey, bro. What on earth are you doing? Training split ideas. Yeah, see, I get a ton on training splits. Maybe a series on training splits. I see another one. Skincare and shaving routine to get ready for a show. I get ingrown hairs easily. This one's cool. The biggest thing about skincare for people in general is to keep up with it like well before the show. So don't start shaving. Sorry, this little fucker makes so much noise. Don't start shaving your entire body like 7 days out from the show, and you should be starting like 16, 20 weeks out at least. You should get the body used to being a naked ass mole rat, and feeling your smooth legs on your bed sheets like a female. Yeah, bodybuilding's super tough. Yeah, skincare, you need to start shaving earlier than anticipated, especially if you've never been completely shaven. Guys that wait too long, and they try to shave everything to like for the first time, you're gonna get rashes and all sorts of shit. Um, Sometimes it helps to do it in like stages. Like maybe don't shave with a bare razor like right away. Maybe start with a trimmer of some kind and just like knock off the hedges, trim the hedges first, right? Like knock down some of the tall hair, and then maybe do that again like a week later, and then start using something like a one blade. Um, and then I like to bare razor, obviously with shaving cream, but I use an actual razor um, like 2 weeks leading to the show. And then Thursday for a Saturday show, like Thursday night will be my final shave of the whole body to make sure everything's off. Bye, baby. Mark asks, is it better to shave with the grain instead of against? You for the closest shave, you need to shave against the grain. But that would be another technique, is to first shave with the grain, But as you get closer to the show, you need to shave against the grain, and you don't want hair or stubble. The tan is going to look like ass. Guys that don't get shaved well, you will your tan will look like shit. Amanda says exfoliate. That's a huge one, like a light pumice stone, like exfoliate um, cream or whatever, gel, whatever the fuck. And because you don't want to scratch the skin either, because if you scratch the skin, the tan will miss those spots and you'll have white streaks. Christy says, don't be a wuss, get waxed. See, getting waxed can cause redness and irritation, and the tan will not lay on well either. So getting wax is not always the answer. It's good for most women. Most women will get a wax before their competition. But for men, it can cause ingrown hairs and it can cause a lot of redness, especially if they haven't been doing that previously. I've seen guys get waxed and, the week of their show, and then they go to get tan, and the tan looks very bad. It looks very bad. Pro bodybuilders get laser removal. That's a bit extreme, but if you're a professional, I mean, it's worth it. Mark said, I tried that with my back, never again. Amanda says, I'm so scared to get waxed. Mark said, lots of redness and ingrown hairs. Yeah. Most guys are not getting waxed for a bodybuilding competition. If they do, it's multiple weeks out because most guys are going to get ingrown hairs from a wax. And if you have fair skin, it's going to cause redness and irritation. The other thing about skincare and skin prep, it probably helps to have a base tan of some kind. Again, this doesn't mean start fucking getting in a tanning bed like 2 weeks out from your show. This means start like months and months and months in advance. Otherwise, your tan is going to be bad because you're gonna get sunburnt, and then they're gonna put tan on top of your sunburn, and then it could start peeling, and then you're just gonna look like ass. Christy said if you exfoliate and moisturize, you won't get ingrown hairs. Yeah, usually. It depends. A lot of guys have really curly chest hair, back hair, shit like that. And the curly hair is what generally will cause that ingrown hair. Guys don't take care of their skin like women, Christy. So, like, you guys are definitely a step above when it comes to that. You're less likely to get ingrown hairs because you guys are always exfoliating. You're shaving year round. Most of you, some of you are gross, but you're shaving year round. You're moisturizing year round, typically for most women. Guys aren't doing that shit. Most guys are not even washing their fucking anything below their kneecap. Mark said it hurt like a motherfucker too. I mean, the concept is they're just ripping fucking hair out of your skin. Keith says lots of MT2 in the tanning bed. Yeah. Getting a good base tan will make your tan look better. Your spray tan. It brought me off the bed. I don't think it's supposed to hurt that bad, dude. Doing 3 shows back to back. The back of my legs got gnarly ingrown hairs. That's where guys get them a lot. Or their inner thigh. Or obviously like their pubic bone region. Yeah, guys will get them on the back of their legs, and it's not good. It's not good. And it doesn't look good on stage. It does not look good on stage. Some guys have had to get them surgically removed, their fucking ingrown hairs. It's not like it's not like a huge surgery, but I don't mean to make it sound like that. But some guys have had to get ingrown hairs like medically corrected because they can get infected too. And then you're in a world for hurt. That does not look good. um, Things that people put too much emphasis on in training that they really shouldn't. Um, I don't know. I have to think about that. Things that people put too much emphasis on. Um, I don't know. I think some people are just trying to make everything like dog shit slow, like with the intention of feeling the muscle more or like trying to create more time under tension. And they're moving really slow, which is fine. The cadence is fine. But the problem is they're still holding the weight with the joint and not the muscle. Um, so like just changing the cadence of an exercise does not automatically equate to more time under tension if the muscle was never under tension to begin with. So I think just changing cadence is not like a guarantee to have better time under tension. Sometimes you're just moving the weight shitty, just slower. So you're still being shit, you're just doing it at a slower pace. Tom in the house. What's up, Tom? Son of man, wow. Greetings. Is there anything to the idea that longer esters are more anabolic? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If anything, to be fair, shorter would be more anabolic because there's more bioavailability, because the ester is smaller and it's easier to cleave. There's more available compound in shorter esters. So, if anything, it would be the opposite, but I just don't think about stuff like that. So, like, really, technically, I think shorter esters would technically be more anabolic because there's more of the compound, right? If you're taking tescipionate and you're taking 600 milligrams of it, you're getting a percentage of the actual testosterone. I never think about this shit. I'm just telling you my theory. Um, so if you're using testosterone cypionate and you're taking 600 milligrams a week, you may only be getting, I don't know, I think they say like 65% or something gay. Let me see. Let me do the math. Um, so let's say you're taking 600 milligrams of test E or test C a week, and you're really getting like 400. Um, and if you're taking 600 of propionate, for example, you may be getting closer to 75, 80%. We'll call it 78. So you'd actually be getting like 468 a week. But again, like I would never, ever, 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 ever think about this. Um, I'm just telling you why I think shorter esters would actually technically be more anabolic because you're technically using more. I've said technically like 19 fucking times now. I apologize. But if you're using shorter esters, you're actually taking more of the drug, if that makes sense. Steve has a video about it. What's Steve's answer? That doesn't help. I'm not gonna go watch it. No offense. I love Steve. He's my friend. But I'm like, just fucking tell me what he said then, Tom. Save us all the fucking 30-minute deep dive. But again, he is a guy that I like. DLC says, I love Steve, but I don't agree with a lot of his theories. A lot of his theories are coming from medical paperwork and things like that. But it's like, but when you really talk to Steve, like you sit down with him and just talk with him, he's just as big of a bro as all of us, I promise. Tom says, I don't remember because it doesn't matter. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, that's good. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I like to run kind of a blend of longer and shorter together. And I don't do this on purpose. It's just, I don't know, it's just something I do. I think that's one thing that people just think way too much about. What's up? What do you got? I don't remember because it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Open talk about PED use, sides you've had, what you have taken, how it's affected you, etc. Oh, I mean, fuck. This would. Bye. This would take me years to talk about my PED use and side effects I've had and what I've taken and how it's affected me. That would take me years. Maybe I'll do that one day. Mark asks, favorite CPAP mask. It's the full face Airfit F20 or some shit. I don't know. The full face one. Whatever. The fucking I put my big ass nose in there and my big ass mouth. And I sleep great. Sleep fucking great, dude. And I get the magnetic one. So like the strap's just magnet, super fucking easy and comfortable. Son of man, wow. Why do enhanced bodybuilders often seem to need much more calories per pound to grow than why do enhanced bodybuilders often seem to need much more calories per pound to grow than you would typically expect? I don't think that's true. But the reason that it would be is drugs help you portion nutrients. They seem to need much more calories than natties. I don't That's not necessarily true, but there's a lot of reason that enhanced guys would they're they have more muscle. Enhanced guys have more muscle than natties. Natties don't need that much food. Some enhanced guys don't need that much food. So I don't think that's completely true across the board, but the reason that it would be true in practice is enhanced guys actually have muscle and natties don't. Some naturals do. Some naturals are great. I have 3 natural guys and they're all quite heavily muscled. But they've been training a long fucking time. So they require more food than the typical natural. DLC drugs. Yes, exactly. They take drugs. At similar body weights. Because even if they're similar body weight, typically an enhanced guy still has more muscle, regardless of the body weight. It doesn't matter. Body weight is just a measurement of how much you weigh. It doesn't measure how much muscle you have. I can take 2 very different 5'9", 190-pound people and put them next to each other. And one is going to require an extreme more amount of calories because they actually have muscle. The other one's skinny fat. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, DLC says they just have more muscle. Yep. Soto in the house. What's up, my brother? Favorite sups meds for kidney health. Just like general kidney health. One, yeah, obviously just controlling your blood pressure is the goat of keeping your kidneys healthy. But I'll do supplements first. Astragalus obviously is go-to. Really, most of the supplements I'm going to list would also help with blood pressure at the same time, like grapeseed extract, even things like turmeric or curcumin, just to help keep systemic oxidation down. NAC will help with kidneys just because, again, antioxidants, keeping systemic oxidation down. there's peptides that can help. I've seen SLU help once you get over the 1,000 microgram range, the 1 milligram range. It seems to have benefits for the kidneys. SS31 is very powerful at protecting the mitochondria on the kidneys. MOTS-c can help as well. Meds, Jardiance, huge for the kidney health. I don't personally run Jardiance or any of that class of drug. I don't personally run it because my kidneys are good, but I have had many people run it with great success. There's one guy, we completely got out of kidney failure with the use of Jardiance, SS31, high dose astragalus. What else did we do? Obviously just keeping blood pressure in range. But kidney health, again, just hydration is going to be huge. Balancing electrolytes is going to be huge. Again, all these things are going to go hand in hand with blood pressure to protect the kidneys. But I always just use a kidney product that's just going to cover me on all sides of the equation. So I will typically use something like Morphogen's kidney product or Leviathan. Those are my two favorite. But yeah, I think most enhanced guys should probably at least be taking astragalus at minimum. John asks, what is the highest amount of calories you've had to give a client to continue to grow? Are you trying to see if you're up there? You trying to see if you're the one, John? Man, I've had guys in the 9,000 range. Not a lot of guys, but I've had guys in the 9,000 range. Myself, I've been in the 10,000 range. It was not good growth. It was good growth, but I also gained a lot of fat. But when I was powerlifting, I was chasing my biggest total. My weight was 265, 270 at night. I would go to bed at like 270. I was at 10,000 calories daily, and I had severe indigestion, no matter how much fucking HCl I took, no matter what I did. My blood pressure was consistently 190 over 100 or more. I was using anabolics, but not a ton, honestly. I would chill like year round around 600 milligrams a test. I would typically have in like 200 EQ and then 200 DECA. And then I would run bursts of Anadrol. And then I would rotate Anadrol and Superdrol. So I'd do like 4 weeks of Anadrol, and then I would take a break, and then I would do Superdrol for like 4 weeks, and then take a break. Very, very unhealthy. I don't recommend it to anyone. But I was strong as absolute fuck for me. They're not impressive numbers to like the general world. But I was squatting over 600, benching over 400, deadlifting mid 700s. I was probably on my way to 800. Again, not impressive at 265 pounds, but for me, that was very, very good. I think I could have been just as strong on half the amount of calories, and my blood pressure would have been just much, much better if I wasn't pushing food so hard. And luckily at that time, I was not pushing gear very hard because, to be frank, I was afraid to. because I knew how bad my blood pressure was just on 600 milligrams of test and 400 of other anabolics plus the orals. That might sound like a lot of gear for maybe some people listening, but it's not. Honestly, it's not. Um, and yeah, my blood pressure was absolutely. It got to the point where I was concerned, and that's what took me out of powerlifting. That and a few injuries, but that's kind of what started my whole goal change into gearing towards bodybuilding. So yeah, I've eaten brutal amounts of food, and that is why my waist is fucked up. That's why that and other reasons, but my waist is quite blocky, and I did that to myself. Um, which is fucking pains me. But it's okay. We continue on. We continue on. And I don't know if you guys follow my friend Jesse B on Instagram. He just won his pro card. He coaches himself. He's an incredible dude. I don't know if you guys have seen his transformation, but he essentially went from 180 to like 250, 260, like, and just fucking jacked as shit. I call him my pen pal on Instagram because we always just message each other randomly, and very supportive guy of me. I'm very supportive of him. I hope to meet him in person one day. He's just one of those guys I just think is such a cool guy. He brought his waist in so dramatically this past year. He just won his pro card. I think I said that. But part of the reason, in my opinion, that he won his pro card is because the way he was able to bring his waist in, and that was through just being cognitive of it at all times and doing vacuums every morning and every night, every day, and on repeat. And this dude is on repeat. He lives on repeat. He is a bodybuilder through and through. So yeah, that's my goal this year, is to find the ability to bring my waist in, and I think I can do it. And Danny Lamartina, my coach, my training coach, she said there's a lot of things going on structurally that if we can fix those, that's going to help a lot, such as always just being compressed down and things like that. So that will be cool to see. Son of man, wow. Does it really make that dramatic of a difference? I think this implies that some of the typical estimates of muscularity affect metabolism seems to be wrong. Does having muscle mass make a dramatic difference between how much food you need? Is that what you're asking? Bro, you can't be asking that. You can't be asking that. Does it really make that dramatic of a difference? Having muscle versus being a skinny fat bitch? You don't think one guy is going to need more fuel than the other? Is that what you're saying, bro? I think this implies that some of the typical estimates of how muscularity affects metabolism seems to be wrong. Absolutely fucking not, dude. I mean that some suggest a pound of skeletal muscle only contributes around six. Bro, that's all fucking paperwork bullshit. It doesn't fucking matter. I see it with my own eyes. I coach many people. The guys with more muscle, the girls with more muscle, they need more food. Come on, dude. The cars with more horsepower use more gas. I hate comparing humans to cars, but it works. Chase Geeky in the house. Hey, Tommy, hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining, Chase. Glad you're here. John said, I don't want to be up there. No, I don't think. Again, like I said, that was like extremely excessive. Some of my guys did need that amount of food, and some of them are just absolute fucking animals when they train. And that's the other thing, son of man. Wow. Some guys actually train hard. Some guys say they train hard. Some guys actually fucking train hard. And I say guys, but I train girls as well. Soto, tips for coaching your first peak for a show, like a client. Um, Let me know if that's what you mean, because I know you coach guys. Or you know, because Austin coaches you. Tips for coaching your first peak for a show. Um, are you talking about just the peak? Is this client already in shape? Um, or are you talking about just the whole prep in general? I'm guessing you're putting your first guy on stage, guy or girl, and you're looking for tips for that. Make sure I'm reading that right. Son of man, wow. Clearly that seems to be practically incorrect. Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. And how the fuck are you going to measure a pound of skeletal muscle? I know there's machines that can get close, but come on, dude. Come on. And love it or hate it, some of it is genetic. How much food people need. I feel like my friend Scott Mize. My friend Scott Mize, that dude needs to eat so much fucking food. And he's heavily muscled, don't get me wrong. But that poor son of a bitch needs to eat so much fucking food. And same with my friend Kyle. He needs to eat so much food. And I feel bad for them both. Everyone in their mind, specifically when they're in prep, they're like, oh, that's so cool that you get to eat so much. No, it's not, dude. Ask those guys. They are sometimes absolutely tired of eating, but they still do it. Pissed pajamas. I've noticed that the more quote unquote locked in you are into a single ingredient bodybuilding diet, rice, chicken, fruit, and training like a true bodybuilder, there's a massive runway for food. 100%, bro. Play that on repeat in your head, my friend, dude. Yes. Yes. Oh, I saw a cool reel on the Instagrams. This is so fucking interesting, and we all know it, but to see someone actually do it in practice was so cool. This dude ate X amount of calorie surplus for like whatever, 4 6 weeks, and on paper, the surplus said he is on track to gain 16 pounds or 17 pounds, whatever it is. So he did the surplus with bodybuilding food. Okay. He did the surplus with bodybuilding food, and he gained 3 pounds of lean muscle via DEXA, whatever. Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. Don't fucking care. He did the same surplus with shit, typical American food, whatever it might be, and gained 16, 17 pounds total. Most of it was fat. Same amount of calories. Tell that to your boy, Mike Isertel. You know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? So, piss pajamas, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Imagine the inflammation you're getting from all that fucking shit, junk ass, fucking stupid food. Crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Soto, I'm going to dive into this right now. I got to pee real quick and I'll be right back. Entertain each other, please. Okay, voila. All right, Soto. Yes, client talking about the last week before show, how to find the right look and know when to manipulate sodium, potassium, and water. Okay. Um, so finding the right look is all about getting them to send you multiple photos and weight that week of. Like, you want some post training photos, you want some different lighting. You of course want your typical baseline check-in photos. Those don't change, right? You want those standardized photos, but you want to start seeing them in different lighting, with different fluid, different amount of meals, um, different pump, right? And so then you can start assessing where you can kind of start making a good guess of the best look to weight ratio. And I know that's silly wording, but like, I know, like, Austin is 2 weeks out right now. I know where his projected stage weight, I know where I want him to be. Okay. So Soto, the other thing you want to start gathering is their PM weight before they go to bed. Then you can start getting a rough idea of how much water they lose overnight. So now, when it comes to trying to get them on stage around a certain weight and look, you kind of know what weight they're going to at, wake up at on show day. Okay. Um, so that's your goal. As far as knowing when to manipulate sodium, potassium, water, it's the look. Okay. Potassium drives separation, right? So, potassium, if you see, I always look at the legs for this typically. If I see legs that are looking like they could use more feathering, for example, potassium is what I'm going to lean into for that next meal. And starting typically Tuesday, Wednesday, I try to get guys or girls to send me photos before they eat each meal. And then we can change the meals on the fly. So if you're looking for more separation, for example, something like leaning into potassium based foods. If they need more carbohydrates, you can use something like a banana. If you're trying to get a little bit of fat in them, you could use something like avocado, or you can use potassium chloride, such as New Salt, which is a tool that I often use. Um, so a lot of the times, like, knowing when to manipulate that, it's so hard to give you like a straight answer because it's all about the look. So if I feed someone, um, let's say we do normal meal one, they come back for meal two, and I see the low back is starting to get a little water, for example, or the glutes are starting to water a little. I'm gonna say, this next meal, I don't want sodium in it, and I'm going to lean into potassium for that next meal. Now I have another chance when they send me their photos again 2, 3 hours later to see what that did. And I can say, ooh, I like that look. And then I write it down in my notes. I write down the exact meal that we had. And then generally I say, repeat that meal. And I watch what happened. Oh, they got better. Oh, they got better. I write down that meal. Okay, sweet. I write down that weight. What was that look? Okay, great. Do it again. Man, you get so many opportunities on peak week to build your game plan for show day or the day before show day, right? As far as water, some guys I will start loading water, um, 8 days out, 9 days out, and we'll start pushing water up. Sometimes we're pushing sodium up. It really, again, depends on the look. So it's hard to say like this is exactly what I do because I do it different for everyone. Sometimes there's diuretic use in place. I'm typically a diazide guy if they have it. I prefer diazide over hydrochlorothiazide. Um, how to find the right look. So the right look is, man, it's all gonna be up to you based off the different photos you have and the weight and the data you're collecting. Um, Sodium, if you notice them going flat, the best the best way to make someone more full and vascular is adding a quarter teaspoon of salt. You will see it right away. You will see it right away. Um, so like pre-stage, generally I'm hitting someone with salt, assuming that they are already dry enough. Um, they're already looking kind of not vascular because I want that look on stage, right? So I'm okay if someone's going a little bit with no vascularity. But before I put them on stage, I do want to hit them with some sodium so they can start pumping up properly and feeling that. Um, so really the best way to find, I know I can go on forever about this shit. The best way to find the right look is gonna be based off the scale and the photos that you're getting, assessing the low back in particular, especially for white dudes, the glutes, and quad separation is generally where my eyes are going. That generally tells me my next move. Um, if a guy is really flat, typically white guys, when they're really flat, their upper chest starts to get really, really flat. So the upper chest is something I'll keep an eye on. If I'm in the upper chest, the delts, that area, that is a good indicator of fullness. If I'm looking for more separation, the delts and the quads and the glutes are where my eyes are going. Um, those are just kind of little tips I hope help in some way. Um, but, some of the tricks, vitamin C, B complex, coffee, if they're open to using a little bit of vodka or tequila, that's a good idea. Um, Alcohol suppresses vasopressin. So when someone starts losing water, vasopressin starts increasing because your body does not want you losing that water. And if we can suppress vasopressin, the body continues to dry out and lose water. So, um, let me know, bro. If you ever need help with any of that, just let me know. You can send me your guys' photos and just say, "This is what I see. What do you think?" And I don't mind helping you with that. Um, so yeah, it's all about collecting data. And if the client is willing, and hopefully they are, because I'm assuming they want to bring their best look, the more data they can give you, weight, photos, PM weight, weight, photos, just like tracking them so fucking close. You will talk to your client in peak week more than anyone else in your life. They are your pride and joy. They are your man, they're your art, they're your work. And so man, I check on my and when my guys are in peak week, I am bugging them. Photos and wait in 2 hours, photos and wait in 90 minutes, photos and wait in 60 minutes, whatever the fuck it takes. I don't care. If that stresses them out, then they don't care as much as you, and that's fucked. If you want them to look better on stage than they give a fuck about, that's backwards. That's backwards. So that's my best advice is to continue to get data from them. And man, you can start this 2 weeks out. I have Austin doing daily check-ins. And you can start it 3 weeks out. Is whatever the client's okay with doing because you don't want to stress them out either. But if they're like all game for it, then fucking send it, dude. There's no such thing as too much data, especially when you're trying to bring something substantial, and something really killer to stage. So make notes. I fucking do it in my phone notes. Um, I already know where I want Austin on stage. I know around where I want his weight, you know? And the glory of it is if you can, let's say your client, you want them on stage at let's say 195 pounds, and that's your goal, right? I want to bring them in around 195. I think that's going to be their best look because they sent me this one post workout collection of photos or posing video. They were 195. They were dry because they just trained, they just sweat. They were hard and they had a good pump. They looked great. It was all even. Now 195 is what's in your mind. Let's say they lose 5 pounds of water overnight. That night before, you know that you can hit them with some food because you're tracking the weight. You can put them to bed around 200, 201, 202, and they're going to wake up in a good position. They're going to wake up just around that weight you wanted them. And then you still have time to manipulate because prejudgings are typically whatever, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever it is. You still have time. They have to be up normally like 5 a.m. to get their final tan touch-ups and things like that. So you have, 4 or 5 hours to hold a look and manipulate those final adjustments. You'll be fine, bro. Just collect your data. Go with your gut. Don't try anything crazy. Only do things that you're comfortable with. Don't try to pull anything out of your ass. Don't try any tricks and anything like that. Do what you're comfortable with, and then whatever happens, learn from it. Whatever happens, learn from it. But for anyone coaching anyone, you're only as good as the feedback that you're getting. Assuming that the client is being adherent and honest, you're only as good as the feedback that they give you. So the more data, the more photos, all that shit, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. The more you can collect, the better off you're both going to be. Chase, Yeeky, do you see anyone have issues with Tren plus Nandrolone? I was considering trying a small dose of Tren, 70 milligrams, on my next push-up phase at the start alongside Test EQ Deca for the first few weeks. I've seen people do okay with it, honestly. And then I've seen people absolutely fucking wreck their blood work with it. But I mean, man, I personally, I see your reasoning behind it. I think I would do something different. Although 70 milligrams of Tren a week can be powerful, I don't know, bro. 50 milligrams of Anavar hits. 50 milligrams of Anavar hits, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's 350 extra milligrams a week. You know what I mean? And then you don't have that even worry in your mind of combining 2 nandrolones. And you have a whole separate pathway. Because equipoise, is technically a testosterone family. Just acts somewhat like a DHT. Anavar, you're getting, there's a big ass bubble right here. Landon's blowing bubbles outside. Sorry. I don't know, bro. I'd maybe fuck around with some Anavar, but that's just me. I'm a Tren guy. I like Tren. Maybe drop the Deca and just do the Tren. Test EQ Tren is like kind of goated. Just saying. But that's coming from a guy who's just not a fan of Deca and NPP. For myself, you probably do well with it because you stay dry, lean, and hard year round. I don't. I'm a watery fuck. I could see it working for you. And listen, if you're just trying to experiment with something, man, I don't blame anyone for that. We all do it. But if you fuck yourself up, you might set yourself back a couple weeks. The way I see it, I would do test EQ trend, and I wouldn't be afraid of pushing that trend up a little more than 70 milligrams for a guy with your amount of muscle. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to 140 a week for you, like 20 milligrams daily, or if I mix all my shit in a vial. So like that's what I'm running right now is test EQ trend. I'm adding master on next week. And then I'm doing Anavar on top of that. And I'm also doing some Proviron because I feel good on Proviron. I feel very good. Proviron helps. I use Proviron a lot. I use it with a lot of my TRT Plus guys because they're businessmen, business owners, husbands. They can be strong, and have a good sense of well-being. Proviron is underrated. And I used to be a guy that said it didn't do anything, and I've changed my mind over the last year or two. So yeah, the way I see it, Chase, test EQ trend Anavar. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with it. But that's how I see it. I think that would be a cool cycle for you, especially if you do well with Anavar. Anadrol is cool and fun, but probably going to fuck up your appetite for a guy like you that stays super lean and does require a bit more food from what I know. Just from what I've seen you post online, your meals look pretty voluminous. So Anadrol, probably not something I'd touch for you. Test EQ trend, Anavar? I don't know. Maybe. Ask your doctor, of course. Early 30s, does it make sense to add insulin GH to help achieve wanted size and to taper down the PEDs going in the late 30s and just maintain the size? Oh man, I don't think that's dumb. Early 30s, does it make sense to add insulin GH? Insulin GH are always fucking good, bro. I don't care what age you are. Sorry, I said it. Sorry. I said it. To help achieve wanted size in order to taper down the PEDs. You know what's funny? Cruz, when you say this, I respond really well off peptide drugs, insulin, GH, Increlex, whatever the fuck it is. I do really well with them. And it does give me the ability to run lower total anabolic load. I still run high anabolic load because I like to fuck around. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the addition of insulin and GH generally makes most humans bigger. Assuming you don't just slam insulin and carbs, you will just be a fat fuck. You will just end up a fat fuck. Milos can do it with IFBB pros. Guys with average genetics just can't do it. And I'm not saying you have average genetics or anything like that, because I think your physique is quite fucking cool, to be fair. Your waist is non-existent. You have huge sweeping quads, and you have this incredible like X frame that's super cool. You have a very unique look, and I don't think you know or believe that, but you do. So yeah, long story short, insulin and GH is fucking, man, pretty solid. Pretty solid. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at this ugly fucking kid outside. Jesus. Fucking unbelievable. Kyle said that picture I sent you, Tommy, I was still at 4.5 thousand medium and 5.5 high. Yeah, exactly. Some people just need to slam food. Piss pajamas, fighting tooth and nail to add scale weight. Why? A back day and a leg day that will set the scale. Holy shit, set the scale back 3 to 5 pounds on 5,000 calories. They happen to almost be the body parts I connect with the most. That's pretty cool. Yeah, don't necessarily chase the scale, but at some point it's got to go up a little bit. You know what I mean? Chase Yiki, what do you think about keeping Humalog in or around training year round? Yeah. Bro, nowadays, I don't love saying this shit to everyone, but I don't care. I really don't care anymore. What do you think about keeping in Humalog around training year round? Yeah, dude, I I don't see a better application for Humalog than keeping it in around training year round. Like for bodybuilders, I think that's what Humalog does. I think that's what it's for. I don't necessarily know that you always have to run it post workout. Um, but man, a tiny bit of Humalog pre workout, I'm hard pressed to say that most people wouldn't benefit from it. I don't think you necessarily need it in contest prep. Um, I do think as you get leaner, like it almost becomes an issue sometimes for a lot of people. They're just always fighting hypo. And it's like, I'd rather lean into something like Motzi that's going to be a little more gentle in contest prep. Um, but I fuck with Humalog year round. Personally, um, I do. When I contest prep, I generally pull it and I lean into things like Motzi. If I'm using Increlex, I don't always use Humalog with that. Mark W says, I can't believe I used to listen to that moron Isertel. Dude, he's actually quite good. I just don't think he practices what he's preaches. I have like a couple of his ebooks. They're formulated very well. His training is structured pretty well. The whole like crazy unnecessary ranges of motion I don't think are necessary. Um, but like the way he writes his programming, it makes sense. Like anyone could look at the his 5-day split, for example, and be like, yeah, okay, I wouldn't do anything different. So his training is like on paper good. His diets on paper are good. He just doesn't fucking do them. I bought a Renaissance diet in like before I started working with Juan Morel in like 2014. I bought the Renaissance diet and it came with like a spreadsheet and it was set up really nice. It had it was mostly it was kind of based off macros, and then it would be like one serving of fat, and then there was like a key and a legend that would explain what one serving of fat is. Like for example, half an avocado would be half a serving of fat. A tablespoon of olive oil would be a serving of fat. Like so, it had like a legend, and you would just like pull foods in that you wanted, and you kind of like if it fit your macro type idea. But all the foods he had listed were real whole foods: lean steak, eggs, chicken, bodybuilding shit. There was no fucking protein bars and all this crazy shit that he eats on there. So I don't know. Um, I think his stuff is good. I think he is silly, but that's all I'll say about that. Soto says, thank you. Of course, dude. Yeah, like I said, let me know if you need eyes or even send it to Austin, dude. Austin is so good with this stuff. Him and I have prepped a couple guys together where he would just send me photos and be like, what do you think? And I'll be like, what the fuck do you think? You know? And he would say, well, I was going to do this. And I would say, cool, do that. I like that idea. I think you're on the right track. I did that with AJ for over a year with, man, I don't know, 12, 15 people. And I learned so much going hand in hand. So yeah, Soto, use Austin as a reference as long as he's open to that because you don't pay him for consulting, you pay him for coaching. But he is a guy that, in my opinion, would help you. And of course, I'm a resource for you always. Chase says, I think that's a good strategy. I just wanted to try the trend because I've never ran it. I want to see how I tolerate it before I use it in a prep scenario. Yeah, so if it's your first time running trend, I would run the test and equipoise, and I would start at 10 milligrams, like you suggested, a day, and then I would titrate it up. And like I said, I would personally have some Anavar in there too, because I like Anavar. I like Anavar. I'm just gonna say that. Smalls, did someone say Anadrol? Yeah, unfortunately, all of our livers quivered when we said Anadrol. It's like Beetlejuice. You don't want to say it 3 times. That's my phone telling me to eat my next meal, but it can fuck off. Chase said, but I don't stay lean and dry. I'm a water buffalo. I just don't show it. I've never seen you hold water, but maybe I'm wrong. In regards to Humalog, I had run Lantus and didn't care for it the way I really, and I didn't care for it. The way I really responded to Humalog, that shit was bananas. Lantus is not meant to be, and take this with a grain of salt, but Lantus is not really meant to be like a performance driver like for training. Lantus is just gonna something that helps daily postprandials and just like controlling stabilizing blood work or blood glucose like as the day goes on. Humalog is like right now, let's fucking go. That shit will peak in like 30 minutes depending how you inject it and things like that. And then it can last, up to 4 hours, 5 hours in some individuals. So Lantus is just going to be a low, slow burn throughout the day. Most people aren't even going to notice it. And for a lot of people, Lantus is not going to last the entire day. Some people like take it with meal 1, for example, and then they might have to take more Lantus, with meal 4 or whatever, or before they go to bed, which sounds scary, but like it doesn't have the same peaks as like Humalog, for example. Mark says, I used to have the RP training app. Yeah, I don't use any training apps. Besides like reading my program that Danny sends me through her app. But I don't fuck with it while I'm training. I don't want any of that shit. I don't even like having my phone with me when I train. I do because I have to film my top sets and stuff for her. But I don't like the phone. And then I use it for music. But like if I was like fucking around with an app, there's no fucking way. There's no way I could stay focused. All right, what else? I think we made it. Through. Maybe talk about meal timing and the importance of not missing a meal. Stop it. Yeah, a lot of people want training footage and tutorials from me. So that's what I'm going to lean into this year and kind of pivot towards that versus the talking head shit, because like I feel like I have good info and good stories and practical advice, especially for the younger guys. But it doesn't get a lot of love on YouTube. It doesn't get a lot of views, and it costs me a lot of money, and it costs me a lot of time. So I think training is something that might be a better route to go. Mark said, I wouldn't mind trying Humalog in the future whenever you see it fit. Yeah, I mean, just always have everything on hand. You're welcome to have it on hand, but you're dieting right now. So like, I don't always use it during diets. I generally don't, honestly, because insulin sensitivity gets better as you start losing fat anyways. And if you're doing cardio and things like that, you're already like quite insulin sensitive. So I use it in like the first half of a diet sometimes. And like I said, I'd rather use something like Motzi during dieting phases. training videos will be definitely awesome. Yeah, it's all about the logistics of, like, how I wanna film them. Do I wanna voice over them? Um, do I wanna talk live in the gym? Not really. So I'm just figuring out logistics of, like, how to do that best. So we'll see. Yeah, David, DLC just started using Humalog, like, last week, and he's doing well with it. He's enjoying it for sure. Um, man, like, insulin and growth hormone, they're not magic tricks, I promise. It's not the next fucking secret, but they do add benefit to your training specifically. And if your training is benefiting, you're probably gonna grow. You're probably gonna grow. And of course, those compounds can help growth as well on their own, but any way to increase training performance and training recovery, you're going to get better. You're going to get better. And that's not an excuse to rip a bunch of insulin and a bunch of carbs because you will get fat. You will get fat very quickly. Very, 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 very quickly. DLC says voiceovers mixed with some talking. Yeah, I think I can muster that. One of the things I'm thinking of, and it's like, do I want to do that during like an actual training session, or do I want to just like do it after I'm done training, or like totally separate on the weekend, or you know what I mean? That's part of like the logistics that I'm trying to figure out because I really don't think I want to do it during training because I don't like shit fucking with my training. I don't like shit fucking with my training. Okay, I agree. I think only thing to do in actual training is get clips for the voice of it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you can show like he's saying like true working sets, like with true intensity. It's not mocked and it's like actual in practice work. So you can show the real hard sets. Only if you think of something to say, just write it down and yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and it shouldn't be too hard because I already film like all my top sets. Because I have to obviously send those to Danny anyways. Um, so she can review them. So I already am filming my training. This person said your favorite Meadows training plans, trend in the off season, cycling fat burners, and top 5 coaches in the industry. Holy fuck, that's loaded. Favorite training plans from John Meadows would be Gamma Bomb and Avalanche. Trend in the off season, sure. Yeah. Not like that's not written in stone, but yeah, for some people it's a useful tool. Cycling fat burners, yes, I like to cycle fat burners. I generally cycle clenbuterol with ECY stack, um, which would be ephedrine, caffeine, and alpha yohimbine. Top 5 coaches in the industry? Man. Man. That's so hard because there's there's coaches at, like, I don't know, like, the IFBB level, um, who I q I quantify them separately for whatever reason. I don't know why I do, because really they just deliver worse service than the guys at my level, to be honest. Unless you're a fucking Olympian, like, they don't care about you. Um, uh, man, there's so many I could list so many coaches, and I would hate to not include any of them. For training for training coaches that are more geared towards training, exercise, writing your programming, watching your videos, that would be Danny Lamartina. There'd be Mike Condell. Um, Joe Bennett's stuff is pretty good, and, it like, if they're still alive, it's those 3, for training. So Danny, um, and Mike Condell are the 2 for training, and, Joe Bennett's stuff is pretty good. And then, Nick Loft's stuff is good. His training stuff's pretty good. But then there's a lot of, like, crossover coaches who know a lot about both. Um, so, like, that's a real thing. Um, man, I'll just give a list of, like, I would hate to fucking miss anyone because there's so many fucking coaches, and they're all pretty fucking good, to be honest. They're all pretty good. And fuck it, I'll start listing them. AJ Sims, Skip Hill, and by the way, I'm not listing these in order. Um, Andrew Barry's good, Scott McNally's good. I don't know if Scott Stevenson coaches anyone anymore. Joseph Percher's good. Austin Brown is good. There's so many, like, younger guys that are so good that I probably don't even know their names. But I see their stuff on Instagram. Um, like Kevin Turner is fucking awesome. He does a lot of training stuff too. He works with powerlifters and shit like that. He's very smart in the strength world. Dom Kuza, Phil Viz is a good coach. Man, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I don't even know who I said already and who I'm missing. Like, so yeah, I don't. Andrew Barry, I think I said him. I don't know. He's a great coach. It's hard to pick your favorites when you love everyone. Man, there's such good coaches out there, that it's hard for me to, like, even, like, collect them all. And, like, if I'm put on the spot, like, name 5 good coaches, go. Like, um, but yeah, it's like, Justin Compton's good. Like, I almost forgot about him. Not forgot about him, but, like, it's hard when there's just so many. And I don't like picking the favorite of anything or top of anything. Like, what's your top 5 songs? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I listen to so much music. There's probably just as many good artists out there, like musical artists, that there are bodybuilding coaches. um, I think Paul Burnett does good work. Um, dude, there's so many. Blue Collar Dave, he does good work. And there's, like, so many different tiers, I guess people would call them, for whatever reason. Maybe that's based off your following, like how many followers you have on Instagram or social media in general. Um, Maybe that's part of the tier ranking, but, like, Like, I don't think fucking, like, Hani Rambod is better than Joe Percher, you know what I mean? Or I don't think Chris Aceto is better than Skip Hill, you know? It's like it's weird how we rank coaches, but I guess that's just, like, maybe maybe popularity has to do with it, or maybe it's just because of the level of people that they coach, like, if you're coaching fucking, I don't know, Hottie and Derek and, Nick Walker, like, if you're coaching those guys, I mean, that has to put you at a different level, right? I don't fucking know. It's very strange. But like I said, at that level, like, if I went and hired, like, fucking, I don't know, like Chris Aceto or Milos, like Milos is a good coach too. If I went and hired those guys, would I ever would I ever even hear back from my check-in? Like, I don't know. Or would they just send me like a fucking would they just react to my check-in with a heart or something? Like, I don't know. Um, so that's where it becomes problematic. But maybe one day I'll go through and like create a list. I don't know. I would probably have 50 guys and girls. There's a lot of good girl coaches on my list. So yeah, that would fuck me up. Um Food packing tips was he was just acknowledging that video I made on traveling. Still curious your thoughts on insulin. I love insulin. The memo's out. I love insulin. Just don't fucking do something dumb and kill yourself with it. You're not supposed to say that on YouTube. Don't do something dumb and hurt yourself with it. 5 IUs is different than 50. How you prep your food for the week. Any tips, tricks that make it easier? Recipes that you found that make meal prep enjoyable. Bro, my food is so bland and boring. The branch or slow dance video was good. Thank you. Training videos about going from powerlifting focus to bodybuilding. Uh, excuse me. Workout splits again. When would you start using insulin? Now, buy it, have it, and let me know when you have it. Anything you put out is solid. Thank you. Okay. Is having a time where you do hard straight sets with no intensifiers a good thing? Yes. And if so, how would you structure it? Just do straight sets, bro. Love you, but I love intensifiers. Anyone that has trained with me or seen a program from me or heard me talk about training, I love intensifiers. I love intensity techniques, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I love them all. Supersets, drop sets, rest pause, cluster sets. I love all that fucking shit. But I will never do it in place of a good old fashioned hard straight set taken to hell. Because if you know that an intensifier is coming up, you will sandbag that hard straight set. And if you're skipping the hard straight set to save yourself for the intensifier, you are doing it wrong. You are doing it wrong. That is like not finishing your entree because dessert is around the corner. Absolutely not. Intensifiers are in supplement to your hard straight sets. Do those first with integrity. and don't sandbag them because you got a drop set coming. A lot of people, ironically, use intensifiers as a get out of jail free card, as a, well, I'm just going to do a hard drop set because this first one's kind of heavy. It's like, don't use the intensifier as an excuse to suck ass on the actual good hard set. Was listening to your Q&A during cardio, sorry, and you had a lot of good insight into maintaining a work slash life slash family balance with bodybuilding. That's cool. Thank you. Let's see if I'm missing anything from you guys. A favorite band is the worst question. Like, I don't know, bro. Ask me again later that day, dude. Or like your favorite car. Like, hey, what's your favorite kind of car? I'm like, anything that goes fast and looks cool as fuck. So every car. It's like, um, I don't know. I don't pick favorites. I'm not in third grade. What's your favorite color? Have you ever had a client who got great results with you? Yes. Who left to do their own thing? Yes. And just push drugs and food super high, like you were intentionally holding them back from doing so? Yeah, probably. Chad Romero. Yeah, that happens. That happens. I mean, young bodybuilders, they want to do their thing, bro. They want to experiment. Um, and I can't fault anyone for that, dude. I can't fault anyone for that. You know what I mean? Um, it's like there's probably a piece of advice that your mom or your father gave you and you didn't listen to it and you still did that fucking thing they told you not to, and it bit you in the ass. And it bit you in the ass. And then you got to go, fuck. I guess they were right. Fuck me. Sometimes, Chad Romero, you got to eat the humble pie, my friend. And sometimes, typically, I don't want to single out the younger guys, but typically the younger guys just need to learn on their own. And that's okay, dude. That's okay. I've been young before, believe it or not, even though you all call me Unk now. But when I was a young cat, you think I was supposed to have my blood pressure 190 over 100? You think I was supposed to be slamming anadrols and doing max effort squats in my garage alone? I wasn't supposed to be doing those things. And I should have listened to the people that were telling me not to. And I still did my thing. So yes, I've had that happen. And I'll have it happen again and probably again. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. It hurts because you care about those people and you do have their best intention in mind, and you certainly are not trying to hold them back. Because my business thrives on client results. My business thrives on client results. So when I put slabs of muscle on an individual, it makes my business grow, which makes me more money, which means I can spoil my wife and son, which means my life is happier. It's a direct reflection of my body of work. So intentionally holding someone back would be like me shooting myself in the foot. Not only shooting myself in the foot, it would be like me taking money away from my wife and son. So intentionally not giving someone the best absolute progress they can make under my quote unquote leadership or whatever the fuck you want to call it, by not providing that service and those results, I am stealing money from my wife and son for what? For what reason? Because I want to be broke? Because I want to be miserable? Because I want them to not have the things that they need slash want? That seems funny. Would you agree? Kyle said, because they can't be bigger than you, obviously. That could be it. But yeah, Chad, I've had that happen. It will happen again. And it's a part of the industry. It's a part of a young man or woman. It's a part of their development. It's a part of them growing as people. Um, it's a part of them being young, which again, I don't want to single out young people because not all young people are like that. But it is just their next chapter. It's their next season. It's their next phase, and it's temporary. And at one point, they will eventually just be like, okay, I'm ready to not do dumb shit anymore. Or I don't mean to call it dumb shit, but some of it is dumb shit when it does happen. Um, they will grow from it. So me trying to stop it would be me holding them back. If I said, "Oh no, please don't leave me. Like I'm your better choice, I promise." That is actually holding them back more than just letting them go and letting them learn on their own. And that's okay. That's just life shit, bro. That's just a part of life, dude. It's a part of the maturation process. It's a part of it's a beautiful thing. It's all good. It's all good, dude. I do take it personal, if I'm being honest. Um, because when you care about something and you know you just you care about someone so much, you can only take it personal. um Raymond in the house. Amanda says, you have left coaches too. Yes. She said, I think it's all a part of the game. Yes. I have left coaches too. I have left coaches too. And I've come back to them though. I promise. I've come back to them because I realized I'm better with them. I realized I'm better with them. But Amanda's right. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the maturation process. It's a part of life. It's a part of life. Sometimes the best lessons are, I'm going to do this thing that I probably shouldn't. And then I'm going to fall on my face. But I had to fall on my face to learn the lesson. And that's okay. We've all done that. We're all going to do it one or two more times, one or three more times, four or five, whatever the fuck. It's just a part of life, and it's all beautiful shit. It's all good. It's all good for you. And it's just then see I've the situation, the position that I'm in my age demographic is now I can save the younger guys from wasting time if they allow me to. If they allow me to, if they trust me to, I can save them from wasting time because I did the dumb shit. But sometimes doing the dumb shit is the one of the best ways to learn. Amanda John says, I'm about to, uh, I'm about it. You need to fucking spell check before you hit enter. I'm about to leave my coach, she said. You are about to get kicked out of this house. You and that ugly fucking kid. That crotch goblin of yours. That demon seed. Sorry about that. Sorry about that is right. DLC's laugh my ass off. They can't all be cute. They can't all be cute. He's smart though. Skip told me Skip Skip told me you need one of everything. He's like, you need an ugly kid, you need a dumb kid, you need a smart kid, and you need an attractive kid. He goes, I have one of each. He's like, you need one of each. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Raymond said, glad you're enjoying the Humalog, David. Yeah, he's doing good with it. Yeah, we have it dosed in like a really good spot where the blood sugar is like just right before he's ready to eat. And his pumps are doing really well. He's got good proprioception of the muscle. So he's connecting with things. Let's see what else. Tips and tricks to stay on track. I love you guys, but holy fuck. What suggestions do you have for substituting carbs if you find yourself without the certain carb source for that day? For instance, when bananas are way too ripe, what can I use instead? Out of sweet potatoes, can a baking potato be used or rice cakes? You just gotta, yeah, sometimes you gotta substitute. That's okay. I mean, if you're substituting like a banana, I would try to do something similar to a banana, like a different fruit with potassium and fiber. If you're trying to substitute rice, I would probably do like cream of rice because it's the next closest thing, right? So I try to make your substitutions make sense. I would not substitute like cod for ribeye steak, for example. That would be a bad choice. Lots of questions about training splits. Lots and lots and lots of questions about training splits. I need to fucking just make a video on that. If you were a lifestyle guy, what would you change about your diet, training, drugs, assuming health, a respectable lean physique, and maximizing time outside the gym is the goal? Ooh, man. All right, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Raymond just got back from legs at Iron Lab. Yeah, that gym is so cool, dude. They have a ton of cool leg equipment. Switch to frozen bananas, always right. Yeah, frozen shit in general is like underrated. Oh yeah, David almost went there because they were right in Schaumburg. Bummed we didn't get to go when we were in town. Yeah, you guys, you and Crystal will have to like just like schedule a fucking week where you just come out here. And we can all hang out. People love talking about training splits. Yeah. They are looking for a magic split. I agree. So they will do well on YouTube. Yeah. This question, I will end on this because I have to eat at some point here. If you were a lifestyle guy, I am a lifestyle guy. I just happen to compete. Fuck. What would you change about your diet, training, drugs, assuming health, a respectable lean physique, and maximizing time outside of the gym is the goal? Okay. Okay. The hardest thing about this question is identifying what a lifestyle guy is. Because all of my lifestyle people are lean. They're training hard. They're using gear. They're following a diet. They just don't get on stage in their underwear. That's what my lifestyle guys are doing. That's what my lifestyle girls are doing. If I chose not to compete anymore, if that was a choice of mine, I would not change a goddamn thing. I would not change a thing. Sorry. Sorry. I wouldn't change anything. This is the lifestyle. This is the lifestyle. Now, if you think lifestyle means being a normie, I would never fucking do that. I would never fucking do that. I just wouldn't. It doesn't amuse me. There's nothing that interests me about being a normie, and that's not to offend anyone. I have no interest in being a quote unquote normal person who casually drags their ass to the gym, does 30 minutes of unintense exercise, doesn't eat until fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon when they order lunch with their friends, does not eat again until they get home. They watch TV and have a beer and order dinner. That's not ever going to be my life. If I was a normie, I would probably just start doing cocaine again. That would be my thing. I would just do cocaine because I would not just sit on the couch and watch TV. I have no interest in being a normie if that's what people mean by lifestyle. I have no interest in using the word normalcy. I don't need normalcy in my life. What I do is normal to me. This is the life I chose. I make this life normal. I make this life normal. And if there's something so sexy about normalcy to you, then go do that. Then go do that. But normalcy doesn't mean eating whatever you want and blasting steroids. That's just being a fucking idiot. That's not being normal. that's everything but being normal. Now, if normalcy means eating 4 bodybuilding type meals a day, using, a reasonable amount of performance enhancers, right? Maybe that means like a little testosterone with Mastron, and maybe here and there you use some orals and you use some growth hormone. And if that is normalcy, then okay. Four meals a day, bodybuilding foods, still train hard, don't abuse drugs anymore. I would do a ton of blood work if I was a normal guy. A ton of blood work. I would do probably much more endurance related things. That doesn't mean I would be a hybrid trainer or something all of a sudden, but I would start doing pretty heavy cardio to undo all the damage I did from abusing gear to my heart. So I would try to reverse some of that if I was trying to be a normal guy. It's just not what I'm into. So I don't have advice on what I would do because I've never done it and I don't plan on doing that. Now, if I ever stop competing, it's still going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same shit. Now, when I get a little older, the gear doses might change. They're likely going to change. I don't think it's going to serve me any purpose to be slamming anabolics when I'm 50, 60, etc. If I even live that long. If I even live that long. My dad died at 52. My mom died at 63. My odds are not good. My life expectancy based off those averages is like 57. It's like 57. So if you want me to give you a real answer on what I would do if I wanted to just be a lifestyle guy, I would eat 3 to 4 meals a day, rounded meals, clean meals. One of them would probably be when I get home from work with my family. I would eat whatever they're eating because they always eat good food. It's healthy food, quote unquote. I would not abuse steroids anymore. I would still train 4 or 5 days a week, and I would do cardio probably 6, 7 days a week. And I would do blood work probably every 3 months. And that's from going from a competitive bodybuilder to a lifestyle guy. So I don't know if this is what the question was. If you were a lifestyle guy. So if I was just like from the very beginning, I think when people ask this question, they're like getting into this world and they don't know like how to approach it with their families. So they're like, do I like fucking eat dinner with them? Do I eat what they're eating? But like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're just confused on like how to approach that. And I think that's more so what the question is. So I would be, my goal as a lifestyle guy would be to be lean all the time. 10% body fat or under. It would be to be lean all the time. Like, take your shirt off any time of the year and not have any embarrassment. Type lean all the time. It'd be cardio focused. You know, and like I said, still weight training. I probably wouldn't, I don't know. It's so hard for me to answer because I've been in it for so long with the training intensely. I don't really know how to train any other way. But for people getting into it now, I think the goal is just like your goal should just be to be lean all the time, just good looking all the time to the normal eye, right? Where anyone can look at you and be like, oh, that guy's in shape. You know, the guy at the beach, oh, you know, that guy's a dad. Like, man, he looks great for his age, right? You hear that shit? Fuck. You look great for your age. What the fuck does that mean? But you want to be that guy. If you're a lifestyle guy or girl, you want to be the guy or girl that gets the comments, man, you look great. That's it. That's it. That's what the lifestyle is. You just look a certain way. You look like you're in shape all the time. What I would do for diet, like whatever it takes to maintain that shape, what I would do for drugs is TRT type stuff. TRT, yeah, TRT, honestly. If you're a true lifestyle person, stay a lifestyle person. That means keeping your blood work in range. That means keeping your blood work in range. That means TRT shit. That's what lifestyle is. Now, if you're a lifestyle bodybuilder, then you just do the bodybuilding stuff just without competing. So lifestyle, like you have to define it first before I can say what I would do, because I don't know which one it is. But if that means what would you do if you stopped competing? I would just live my same fucking Groundhog Day. I would just live my same Groundhog Day. And I don't know. That's it. I don't know what else to say. That one's hard to answer on the fly. This one's good. I will end on this one actually, because I want to get this one out there. How long do you keep someone in a calorie deficit if they're still very obese like me, but continue to lose fat? Do you base on pictures, how they feel, gym performance, etc.? This one's very good. This one's very good, especially for people who have never coached people who are obese. I'm talking like obese, okay? And I'm not gonna say it in a way that will insult this person, because I absolutely love this guy who posted this question. Tons of respect for him. How long do you keep an obese person in a deficit? Man, you push them for as long as you can. Um, you look for things like training performance. You look for things like sleep, like he's suggesting. If training performance is just absolutely falling the fuck off, if calories are getting too low, if activity is getting too high, there will come a time where we need to rebuild his calories back up, where we need to rebuild the quote unquote metabolism back up. And a lot of the times when someone morbidly obese comes to you, their calories are already so fucking low and they just cannot eat food and their metabolisms are so completely fucked. So some of the times you actually have to spend time like teaching them how to eat like frequently and a lot of food. So then you have a good starting point from where you can start chopping down. But once calories start getting like to fucking bikini girl calories, and this guy is now 360 pounds. He's come from like 420. Um, if the calories start getting to fuck all, you're gonna have to take some time to build those back up, and maybe that only takes 3, 4, 5 weeks. You do a little break, and then you get back to it. You start ripping again, and this doesn't just happen with morbidly obese people. This happens with the average guy just trying to lose fat too. Sometimes you run into a point where it's just like, man, these fucking calories are just too low. Like food is just like non-existent. Your training is shit. Your mood is shit. You can't sleep. Your quality of life is fucking garbage. At that point, you need to reverse that and you need to start feeding that person. You need to start getting that training performance back because that's going to elicit fat loss. You need them to have energy to be able to do the activity, ironically. Um, so you will have to go in phases. Like I said, this guy started at when he started with me, he was 420 pounds, somewhere around there. He's like 350 now, 360, somewhere around there. So um there's gonna come a point where we get his food so low and his activity so high that we are gonna need to take a few weeks to add food back in and build that metabolism back up, build the resource back up so we can start pulling again. How long? Really depends. It really depends. Typically, once people start dieting over, I don't know, I hate to give a number, but once it starts getting into the 30, 40 week mark, they're pretty down and fucking dirty at that point. It becomes pretty unsustainable and they will need whatever that amount of break may be. Maybe it's a month to slowly add food back in. If you can add, let's say 200, 300 calories a week over 4 or 5 weeks, that gives you a good fresh starting point to start ripping again. But yeah, people that have a lot of fat to lose, they're going to have to do it in phases most of the time. Most of the time. So we're gonna wrap that there. I have to get my food in, and I have to film a podcast with Andrew and Joe. That's not till 3, but I got time for that. So thank you guys for being here. Marty, I see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you catch the replay. There's some gems in here somewhere. I don't know, maybe. Anyways, TommyJohnCoaching.com, Tommy John Coaching on Instagram. Check out Jared Seaton. I posted on my story. It might be gone by now. Excellent transformation from him. Jared's been with me 2 years now, and he just got third place at the Toronto Summer Shredding Competition. Super fucking cool. We're gonna make a big post about it once we get his professional photos, and we're gonna show the transformation. I will post up his video at that time that he had to do for the competition, everything like that. Super fucking cool. Crazy proud of him. So yeah, check that out. ChaseIronsForum.com. Please join over there. We talk about bodybuilding and training, all the shit we talk about here, we talk about over there. So good community of guys, and a lot of cool people over there. And it's moderated, so all the Reddit guys are not in there. Anyways, later guys. Love you all. Have a good weekend. Peace.